All right, we're back live again. My apologies before. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. We're going to get back at this. It's all fixed now. We're going to talk about summer-based training for high school cross country. Now, we're going to get right into this. Incoming freshmen. So for those that coach high school, or for those that are going into high school that want to run, this is definitely a good one to watch, right? And for those that are, I'm live on YouTube and TikTok right now. So for those that are on TikTok and you want to see what I'm talking about in slides, come and join me in the live stream on the YouTube channel. The link is right in the profile. And if you have any questions on YouTube, put them in the comments, as you know, as always. So I'm going to get right into this, okay? Again, talk about summer-based training for incoming freshmen, high school. And what I'm going to do also is every day this week, I'm going to go high school, sophomore, junior, senior, okay? And show the progression of each year. And then we're going to go right to college, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So you can see the difference between the two, right? And you'll see the progression between the two. And if you have any questions at any point in time, feel free to reach out to me, okay? As you know. So, and coaches and athletes, definitely want to make sure you subscribe here. Want to make sure you follow me on TikTok too. So, but again, some of the things to point out, okay? Especially when it comes to high school. Ideally, you want to use someone, particularly when it comes to high school summer, you want to use the summer to recover from months of racing if you're racing before this. So whether it's cross country, indoor and outdoor, or just indoor and outdoor, okay? And want to make sure that you're recovering from the race, setting yourself up to run well in cross country. Use it as a springboard to the next season, next batch of seasons to set you up to perform at a higher level, okay? Incoming freshmen are likely, for the most part, new to running, so you want to obviously build them slowly and make sure that they're also enjoying the activity. Do some team building stuff. Have some fun, okay? And if you can get to the point where you can build them to 5 days of running per week, that's a good starting point for getting them ready to run cross country. It's a really good starting point. And again, keep in mind, you have 10, 12 weeks over the summer, so I encourage you to utilize them, okay? So, and again, anybody in TikTok, make sure you tap that screen if you don't mind. Let's get those hearts up. YouTube, make sure you hit the like button as well. And again, hit the thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Okay, now let's get right into this. Okay, week 1, right? Monday, 2 miles. Tuesday, 3 miles. Wednesday, off. Thursday, 2 miles. Friday, 2 miles. Saturday, 3 miles. Sunday, off day. Okay, now keep in mind, there's a similar pattern here. Okay, in this particular pattern, we're running 2 days, taking it off a day. Then running 3 days, taking it off a day. So they're getting up to the point where they're running 5 days a week, but there's no 2 consecutive days off. There's a day off here and a day off there. So they get used to running for a couple of days, then they have a day breather. Okay, this helps them adapt to the training that they're going to be putting forth in cross country. And if you're a high school freshman in cross country, you get to the point where you're running 6 days a week, having off every Sunday. That's a good thing. Okay, but got to build towards this slowly over time. Now, week 2, 3 miles Monday, 3 miles Tuesday, off Wednesday, 3 miles Thursday, 3 miles Friday, 4 miles Saturday, and then off Sunday. And again, consistent pattern. You're off Wednesday, you're off Sunday, every week throughout the summer. Okay, your 4J run with 40 miles this year, no, would not hurt you if you do it right. If you do it right, it would not hurt you. Okay. These are questions from TikTok. So anybody has questions on TikTok or on YouTube, feel free to ask them. Okay. And again, those that are on TikTok right now, I am live on my YouTube channel right now, and everything I'm talking about is in slides and writing. So come and join me on the YouTube channel if you're not done that yet. The link to my channel is right in the profile. Okay. Now, week 3 and week 4, 2 miles Monday, 3 miles Tuesday, off Wednesday, 3 miles Thursday, 3 miles Friday, 3 miles Saturday, off Sunday. Again, 2 days running, 1 day off. 3 days running, 1 day off. Okay, tap that screen, everybody, on the TikTok if you don't mind. Keep getting those hearts up. Greatly appreciate it. Week 4, Monday, 3 miles. Tuesday, 4 miles. Wednesday off. Thursday, 3 miles. Friday, 3 miles. Saturday, 4 miles. Sunday off. Again, 2 days on, off Wednesday. 3 days on, off Sunday. Consistent every week. Okay, consistent every single week, and its consistency is absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. Now, we're going to add a new dynamic, weeks 5 through 8. Okay, we're going to start to inject a little bit of speed work. Okay, T. McGee, I appreciate you finding it helpful. Thank you so much. 42-mile weeks now. Your eighth grade, that's 42 weeks is pretty aggressive for an eighth grader, but if it works for you, it works for you. So weeks 5 through 6, okay? 3 miles Monday, then 4 miles Tuesday, and then we're going to add 3 times the 50-meter uphill sprint afterward, okay? Start to inject a little bit of speed development in there. Off Wednesday, 3 miles Thursday, 3 miles Friday, and then 5 times 50-meter flat strides or sprints, a track on a road, whatever, on the grass. Get that flat speed development, okay? Then 4 miles Saturday, or 3 miles Saturday, excuse me, off Sunday. Okay, we've been doing that consistent off Wednesday, off Sunday, but now we're adding a little bit of speed development in this next 4-week segment. Now, week 6, Monday's 3 miles, Tuesday 4 miles, and 3 times 100-meter uphill. Then off day Wednesday, Thursday 3 miles, Friday 3 miles, 3 times 100-meter on the flat. Okay, Saturday 4 miles, Sunday off day. Again, very simple right now as you're getting an incoming freshman. Again, for those that coach high school that know you have some freshmen that are coming in that have already run a middle school and so on and so forth, this is something that I encourage you to consider if they're not doing it already. So this is the way of easing yourself into summer training to get ready for cross country. Okay. Now, week 7 and week 8. Monday, 4 miles. Tuesday, 4 miles and 3 times 150 uphill. And at any time the uphill, it's just a jog down, a walk down recovery. Nice and easy. That's it. Okay. You're off Wednesday, 4 miles Thursday, 3 miles Friday, and then 3 times 150 on the flat. Walk or jog back recovery. Okay. 5 miles on Saturday. Now get the long run up to 5. Then you're off day on Sunday. Okay. Week 8, 4 miles Monday, 4 miles Tuesday with 3 times 200-meter uphill now. We're adding 50 meters each week to the uphills, but we're just going to keep it at 3 reps. Okay. Wednesday's off, Thursday's 4 miles, Friday's 4 miles, and 3 times 200 on the flat. You want to try to equal what you do on a flat than you do on the uphill later on in the week. And 5 miles Saturday, Saturday's an off day. Okay? Again, consistent. Off Wednesday, off Sunday. Not 2 consecutive off days. Tips I have for recovering from sickness and getting back into ease yourself into training. Do not train with a fever. If you have a fever, that's an automatic off day. If you run 5:12 a mile in 8th grade, what can you run next year if you do? I would be shooting for sub 5 minutes. That's the first thing I'd shoot for. Okay. Now, anybody have any questions in YouTube? Make sure you put in the comments. Now, the last cycle, weeks 9 through 12. Okay. 4 miles Monday. Tuesday, 5 miles. Then we're going to go back to the 50 meters uphill. But now we're going to do 5 times 50 uphill. Off day Wednesday. 4 miles Thursday. 4 miles Friday, 5 times 100s on flat. Okay, 5 miles Saturday, Sunday off day. In week 10, 5 miles Monday, 5 miles Tuesday, 5 times 100-meter uphill. Wednesday off, 5 miles Thursday, 5 miles Friday with 5.150 on the flat now. 5 miles Saturday, off day on Sunday. Okay, so summer training. This is a way to set you up for a successful year of cross country and track if you're going to run all 3 seasons. Okay, and this is also a good way of recovering from last year's racing and putting yourself in a position to train at a higher or race at a higher level next year. And this is why I don't do tons of workouts in June and July. You don't need to. Just keep it very simple here. Now, week 11, 4 miles Monday, 5 miles Tuesday, 5 times 150-meter uphill. Wednesdays you're off. Thursdays 5 miles. Friday 4 miles, 4 times 200 on the flat. 6 miles now. If you can get to the point where you do 6 mile long run on Saturday and you're off on Sunday. And then lastly, week 12, 4 miles Monday, 5 miles Tuesday with 5 times 200-meter uphill. Wednesdays you're off. Thursday 4 miles easy. And then Friday you do a warm-up. Mile and a half, a couple strides and whatnot. Then you test yourself. You test your athletes at a mile. See what they can run. But I don't test them before that. If you get a good 6 to 8 or 10 weeks of running behind them, and then you test them at a mile, you get a good, accurate indication of what their fitness is. And then it allows you to set training paces much more effectively. Then a cool down, mile and a half. Okay, that's Friday. Then Saturday, 5 miles, and then Sunday's off. Okay, and that's it. Okay, that's the program. It's really, really, really simple. Okay, and thoughts on high mileage? I would start at moderate and I would progress to high. It should be a progression of mileage increase every year. but the body's got to be ready to adapt to it. Okay. I'm talking about summer base training, Will, for cross country, for high school freshmen. Every day I'm going to do, tomorrow I'm going to do high school soph, then high school junior, and high school senior, what to do over the summer. And then we're going to go college in freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And you'll see the progression in volume, the progression in mileage each day I do it. Okay. Can't hear me? Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Okay. How fast to run easy runs? Test yourself at a mile. Just go by feel in the summer. Okay. Air blasting? Don't have any air. Let me put this over here. Let's try this. Okay. So maybe that's a little bit better. But summer training is what's going to set you up for cross country. A successful year of racing, successful year of racing track as well. Cross country sets you up for track. Summer sets you up for the whole year. Okay, what you do in the summer is really, really important. Okay, you don't have to do a ton. You don't have to do lots of workouts and all this type of stuff. You're at 5:15 this year in 8th grade is realistic to get. If you do the right training, if you do the right things, 450 is realistic. So you go into college. How many should you do a week? You're doing 35 now. Build yourself up to 40, 45 or something like that. If you've never done summer running, don't do any more than 50 miles a week, at least right now. So best cross training for summer, if injured right now, swimming, biking, swimming preferably if you have access to a pool. It's your 30, 35 miles a week. Now, I mean, you can go to 35, 40 if you need to, or you can alternate too. Do 36 in 6 days, right? Or you can do, depends. If you're doing 6 miles a day, 36 in 6 days. If you're doing 7 miles a day, it's 42 in 7 days. If you're doing 5 miles a day, 35 in 7 days, 30 in 6 days. Average the same amount of mileage per week in 6 days as you do in 7 days. Dave's got a question. Would I do speed development before a run? No. I would do an active stretch routine first. Make sure the muscles are fired up. Make sure their blood's pumping in there. I would not do speed development before a run. Got to make sure that the muscles are activated properly first. Should I split longer, easy days? I do them all at once. When the volumes are slow, you don't need to do doubles. I don't generally prescribe doubles for athletes until we're at 60 miles a week. Doesn't make any sense to do any less than that. Yeah, that's a good question too, David. It's an important question. Because some people do that. Some people do. And it really depends on warm-up routine too. How are you warming up? Some folks do this, and keep this in mind too, okay? Keep this in mind too. Put this back up here. Cross country is the only season where you race outdoors and the weather gets colder as the season progresses, right? Outdoor track doesn't happen. Keep tapping that screen, everybody in here, if you don't mind, in TikTok. Outdoor track, the weather gets hotter. So how you warm up is really, really important, okay? Some people do a warm-up jog and then they do a static stretch and then they try to fire themselves up again, right? I generally do, I prescribe something different. It's up to you to decide when to try it or not, but an active stretch first. Get the blood flowing, get the muscles warmed up, then the warm-up, and then the drills and strides and so on. Get you closer. The warm-up jog should be closer to the race or the workout. And again, your warm-up routine should be consistent on race day as it is on workout day too. Something to keep in mind too. Okay, you're recovering from a stress when they come back. Cross-train. Well, get cleared by the doctor first before you come back. You cross-train for the meantime, but get cleared by the doctor to run first, and then you start very easy. I don't have a fan on. It's kind of strange. Interesting, gang. I'll tell you what. 1 second, gang. I'm just going to make an adjustment here really quickly. Going to lower this like that. Put this right here. Okay. So once you're cleared, how should you reduce volume? Like only do it on off days. Once you're cleared, then I would start every other day, and then you add little by little by little. Make sure that you're feeling good. Make sure that you're recovering enough from the runs before you start really adding volume, if that makes sense. So, does anybody have any questions about this summer-based training? This is incoming high school freshmen, okay? Tomorrow we're going to do incoming sophomores, and then incoming juniors, and incoming seniors, right? All high school, we're going to do the next 4 days. And then I'm going to do college freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, okay? That's going to be the next pretty much 8 days of live. But I want to get this now so that it's the summer. And that way you have an idea, if you're not doing this already, of how I kind of lay out the training for athletes. You can also go to my YouTube channel. I've got summer-based training programs there already, but these are updated. See, these are modified and updated in the meantime. But I'm also going to do, as we get closer to cross-country training, cross-country plans for freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, high school, and college. That's going to come too. Okay? So just something to keep in mind. 50 to 55 is good for a junior. If you can handle it, that's okay. Got to be able to handle it. And you got to make sure that you're getting enough recovery after your runs and after your workouts and stuff. And again, make sure that you're not racing too much either. It's very hard to increase volume while you're racing a lot. And again, just for those that haven't run in college yet, you will not race as much in college as you do in high school. Okay? So just something to keep in mind. What would 440 as an 8th grader or 5K? It really depends, but I'd be looking in the 16s if I were a 440. As a freshman, which would be a solid freshman performance. Upcoming freshmen in your summer-based training, should I repeat weeks 5 to 6 on your video? Well, only if you're there. If you're there already, then yeah, you can go right there. Weeks 5 through 6. This just gives you a template that you can modify into your own, right, and follow. That if you're a coach, what you feel is most appropriate for athletes, especially if you're an incoming freshman. But if you're an incoming freshman and you put in a decent summer and your coach doesn't know, they're going to be very happy that you put in the summer. Coming into the college season at 70, do I hold or drop with workouts starting? Well, are they prescribing workouts right now, David? I mean, how many days a week are you running? Also 70. Are you running 7 days a week? These are good questions, by the way. Keep tapping that screen, everybody, if you don't mind, on TikTok. And smack the like button, too, on YouTube as well. Appreciate you both. We're live on both platforms right now. I want to make sure that I'm able to answer all the questions. Thank you, gang. Thank you on TikTok. If you're coming into the college season at 70, that's a pretty aggressive volume. 7 days with strides. I would alternate right now. If you're coming to college, I would do, because that's 10 miles a day average. I would alternate it. I would do 6 days at 60, and then 7 days at 7. That way you have an off day every other week, but you're still averaging 10 miles a day. Okay, gives you recovery, because one of the things that you're going to get used to in college is you're going to train for longer races. You're probably going to be training at faster paces in your workouts and your runs. Okay, so there's an adjustment period that needs to take place. So it's important to not overdo it in college, especially in the summer as you come in. The ambition's great. Just be careful with that. So that's why I encourage folks to have an off, especially freshmen and sophomore in college. Take an off day every other Sunday, especially in the summer. Now, it's 5K a day, good to get faster for your long run. Well, the long run's got to be faster than 5K. Supplements not necessarily supplements. I recommend a clean eating clean, having a good diet. Put good fuel into your body. That way you don't need supplements. But a multivitamin, multi-mineral is always a good thing to have, because it complements what you're putting into your body as well. And make sure that you're getting the daily requirement of vitamins. Just 30 last week. How many miles? Should I add? Try to get to 55. Brody, what year of school are you in? And have you ever gone above 30 before? Double erase wants to increase base building. Suffer from aerobic deficiency syndrome. If you need to do doubles, then you do doubles. And then that's okay. If that works for you better, then you do that. The doubles. Trying to break 16 to 5K should be easy. Should be easy run. This should be 7 or 8. 4:39. You progress from 8 minutes down to 7 minutes for your easy pace, and then from 7 minutes down to, let's say, 6:30 in your steady runs. And then you can do a progression run from 8 minutes down to 6:30, right? 90-second progression. So those are good paces to run. But essentially at 4:35, you want to try to get down to 7:30 to 6:30 for the runs. Going to be a senior who was hitting 40 last summer. So I'll try to get to 50 this summer. 45 and 50, Brody. So if you're, even you can even do 49 in 7 days and 42 in 6 days. That way you're still averaging 7 miles per day, every day. Okay? But you can do the long run at 9 or 10. And then kind of modify the rest of the week. That's a good way to do it too. The long run is essentially about 20% of your weekly volume. The semi-long run, if you have another one, that's 75 to 80% of what the long run is. So if the long run's 10, the semi-long run should be about 8. Something like that. When should I start workouts? It's your championship race is November 8th. Championship race November, late August, early September. Late August, early September. So, anybody have any other questions, gang? I'll wrap this up. I'll keep it short and sweet because I'm going to be live every day this week. So, thank you guys and gals for joining me. Thank you for bringing your good questions. I'll be back tomorrow to do this again. Have a great day, gang. Talk to you next time.